Good morning. Well, I've been battling with this camera to get the angle right and not a very good start, but let's see how it goes from here. This is the intro for my Luna video, spinning on the Luna. Now most of it's done already because we went down to the river. Hey Luna kitty, my cat's name is Luna too and she thinks I'm talking about her. Okay, you can go now. Anyway, so this is the last bit of getting my video finished. I need to try and remember for a change to do the whole thing right, no? So let's start with the introduction. I'm Mariki Smits. I farm with alpacas. My sole income, I'm a widow, so this is not just a hobby for me, this is really my bread and butter as well. So I think it's also time to explain the purpose of my videos, apart from the fact that I would really like to get the whole world to spin as well. This is also my shop front, I suppose, because I made a point of showing in, well, last week's video with the aura, you could already see we're quite remote. But in this video, I'm doing as part of my introduction. I think by the time you get to this point, you would have been down my driveway as well. So I'm showing you why I have an online store and not an actual walking store, and why if you order a spinning wheel or any Maya-craft products for that matter, I offer to give it to, or to hand it over at Felky, which is featured in last week's Maya-craft aura video, because people will not be able to drive up to my door easily to come and get their spinning wheels. They can try, but unless you've got a 4x4 or you are seriously capable of driving off the beaten track, you're going to have a hard time. My driveway is bad and it's a 7-kilometer long stretch like that. Luna, go away. That is the small part. Then we still have another 25 kgs of dirt road, which most of the time the government doesn't bother grading it, so it's quite difficult to travel on it. If ever you were to make it to Felky to go and get anything there, or to just go for a nice cup of coffee or whatever, you will already see what roads in this area looks like. Not easy for city cars to manage along them. So, and then we have the odd elephant crossing the road and things like that. But to me, that's the good part of it. I don't see that as a deterrent. Luna, I don't know if you can see this adamant cat here. There you go. That's Luna the kitty. And she thinks since I'm talking about Luna the spinning wheel, she must have attention to go play. Come on. I need to do a little bit more spinning of my Luna fiber, well, project fiber for this one, which happens to be Scotland. Now if you've watched any of my previous videos, chances are you would have heard me swooning about my other pet love, second to alpaca. I can't really say second because I love them both the same. I absolutely adore these Scotland fibers. It's beautiful as well. Now this specific project is with a blend of this beautiful blue I've shown before. This is Scotland that was already, some of it has already been carded. There you go. I know, no, I mean it's attacked by the scat now. So I'm blending the blue Gotland with the natural color Gotland, and I'm going to make a 3-ply yarn. So 2 strands will be in the blended colors, and then I'm going to add 1 strand of just lovely gray alpaca. Why not? I think it will look beautiful. So that's the idea behind all of this. I'm not going to do all of that on camera. I will do one more bat maybe if my cat... No, man, this is not funny. I'm going to throw you out of the door. Hey, go away. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't do this on camera either, because it's just a waste of time, unless there are some people who would like to know. Oh, let's just do one more bed to spin up while I'm busy talking just now. That's enough of the grey for now. Leave that, Luna. A bit more of this blue. This was actually already made up in Rolex, but I now wanted, what I'm going to do is jipper a little bit, since it's already half combed. I'm going to brush it onto this side of the comb, just sort of 3 lines, and then we can start blending. So this is really intended as just blending the colors together. Right, while I'm busy with this, I can carry on talking, I think. Alright, so I've mentioned I am using my videos as my advertising medium or storefront or whatever you want to call it. I also mentioned I'm a widow, so if anyone thinks this is just my hobby, I've got bad news for you. Well, it's bad news for me. This is my bread and butter. I used to be a translator as well, for more than 20 years, and that was quite easy because I could do that work online. Most of my clients are overseas, so that was easy. And unfortunately, then we had the dawn of AI, the power of the machines, and they took over translating. So my business in translating is no more, and since I live off the beaten track, as you will see from the videos, there's no ways that a 62-year-old Tanny is going to drive that road to go the 60 kilometers into town to get to Pretoria to go and do some 9-to-5 job, because that would mean I'm going to have to leave like 5 o'clock in the morning to get there, and I will probably get home like 8 o'clock at night, so that's no way of living. Then I can just as well roll over and die, so it's not an option. Besides, I already have my alpacas, which I invested in for my retirement fund, so I have them. The problem is I need to feed them, and without money these days, that's not really easy, because they go through a bag of pellets a day, and between 20 and 25 squares of hay per week, and everything has just gone up to the point of depressing. Let me change the subject. I don't even want to talk about that. What I want to focus on is the fact that I earn my living the honest way. I have the website where I sell everything that's hand processed, so it's not mill processed, machine processed, so I can sell it off at cheap prices, because firstly, the animals are fed here. It's not fiber that I got for free from somebody. I have to keep my animals alive to get enough good fiber from them. Now, I do not really get cria anymore, because the last 2 years have not been easy to feed them exactly what they need to eat. Anyway, let's drop that subject as well. It's again just plain depressing. I do not like to discuss that. I was planning on setting up a mini mall. It's been my dream for, I would say, a good 10-15 years maybe. Yeah, I unfortunately had to get to the point of realizing that's not going to happen either, because I approached DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, a few years ago, and the only way they will be willing to help me set up the mill, which would ironically provide employment and everything for a lot of people anyway, was if I would give the controlling part of my business over to a BEE partner. For those who don't know what that is, it means I must give more than half my business away for free to someone of Mr. Ramaphosa's color and probably one of his friends as well. Otherwise, I do not qualify for assistance by DTI. So that meant that dream was gone. Then I thought I will rely on humanity's goodness, and I tried to establish a crowdfunding drive to try and see if I can get money together to set up a mill. The reason I wanted to set up a mill, by the way, is so that I could make all my processing and everything so much cheaper so that everybody can afford it. And I do not have to go to a bank for a loan, which would make it absolutely impossible to make a living, because they want an arm and a leg of everything anyway. Long story short, I discovered that people in this day and age are not really interested in helping other people. They are just there to help themselves. So I am back to just me and myself and my spinning wheels, trying to sell my spinning wheels to the people in an honest way to get them to realize this is one way of being self-sufficient for yourself as well, because you'll be able to make your own clothes and things like that. I'm not going to carry on that right now, because I think most people already know my feelings on that. I would really love people to be able to spin, because we are heading for a mini ice age, which I will not get into now, and you can go and do your own homework if you can get past AI trying to divert you to climate change and everything like that. Anyway, so what I have decided to do, this being my shop front, my YouTube videos, my loyal watchers deserve to get something in return as well. So in every video I'm going to hide, I like to play Sherlock Holmes, y'all. Can't help it. Life's bad enough, so can't we have some fun? I'm going to hide a discount code in every video for the products that are featured for that week. So in this case it will be the Luna spinning wheel. Now the discount code will be for 10%, so you're going to save 2,300 Rand if you want to order your own Luna. That same code will also give you 10% on, for instance, if you were to buy a set of hand carders, because obviously I'm using the hand carders in this video too. And I unfortunately do not have Scotland fiber to sell at the moment. I import this from England, and import charges being ridiculous. I only do that when I've got some spare cash, and at the moment I don't know if I'll ever have spare cash. Well, let me not be, I sound as dark as I feel some of these days. Anyway, I will, if all goes well, import more of these rare breed fibers, because it's not available in South Africa, but it is really such a beauty to work with. I don't know if you can see enough in the video. Yeah, unfortunately, with focusing on my face for this intro, there's not much of the Luna that's visible here, but you'll see enough of her further on in the video. At least you can see the orifice there. So you can see this Gotland, it's just sliding in there like butter. Now you can also do this prepping with hand combs. It works perfect for that as well, because Scotland is quite a long staple length. But because I want to blend and I want to use it like sort of a fluffy woolen prep. I decided on the hand cards. Um, okay, yeah, so anyway, the same discount code, if you can find it, will also give you 10% on any alpaca fiber. So in future, if I have some Scotland and things like that available, it will be on the website, so you'll know if it's there. But I'll also mention that in future videos if I get in stock. But I mean, obviously, if somebody goes back and watches this video sometimes in the future, we're already in the future, eh? So hopefully there will be stock in the shop by then. The main thing that I wanted to make sure people understand here is my website is my little store. It's not possible for somebody to say, oh, okay, I'm quickly going to pop in at Mariki for a cup of coffee and buy some whatever, because I really am deep in the bush. Don't get me wrong, you're welcome to contact me and we can arrange for you to come and visit if you've got a vehicle that can manage these roads. By all means. I just know that from what other people have told me before, they dread coming to visit me, especially going down my what we call the Ranky, and that's exactly the piece that I've showed as part of my intro, because really it is nerve-wracking for many people. I have quite a few people that we actually have to go and pick them up at the spot where I did last week's video with the Aura at the Old Kraal, because they do not dare driving further than that point, even with vehicles that are capable of that kind of road. So now you know, it's not that I'm ashamed of where I live or one of those darker mafia type hiding away that's going to steal your money or anything like that. Quite the contrary. It's just that I'm quite literally off the beaten track. So now you know why I've got an online store and why all my sales happen to go through my website. I do not really bother much with Facebook. Half the time I do not have good enough cell phone reception to even get onto Facebook. And as for WhatsApp, WhatsApp calls are not possible because they just don't ring through. I'm in a, when I say I'm verlore vallei, it translates to lost valley. I am down in a dip on the river's edge, crocodiles in the river and all. Yeah, you'll see that in the video as well. Oh yeah, I was thinking, for those who think I'm just sort of exaggerating, I will put in 2 pictures of the first crocodile attack that we managed to record, not as if that's something to be proud of or whatever. It will be included at the end of the video, so if you are sensitive, yeah, the last few pictures might not be what you want to see. It's just to show that it really is an issue, so that if anyone does ever pop in here for a visit or want to go fishing, because in future at some stage I do plan on, well, if I can fix the roads and if I can get them all set up, I plan on setting up a picnic area, fishing spots, and with a pool, little coffee shop and things like that. But as I say, dreams are good friends, and with the current government and the BEE, I don't know. A widow having to scratch my own little pot here and trying to make ends meet, I don't see that going further anymore. But who knows, maybe I still find myself a farmer looking for a wife who wants to join forces, and we can get going. But anyway, what I want to get to is the river is dangerous, but it is beautiful. And I guess that's life. There are pros and cons to everything. I would not want to live anywhere else. I lived in Europe for 5 years and I miss this farm so much. I just had to come back, and this is where I want to stay, even though it is extremely difficult making a living with virtually no income and yeah, as I say, being off the beaten track. I do not want to be in a city anyway, so I think pretty soon most people will understand what I mean with that. I think I've said enough for my intro. If there's anything that I've missed, I apologize, but I hope you enjoy this video. I think up to now it's been the most visibility of a spinning wheel. I really enjoy doing it as well, and you will notice that I did have some dogs guarding me while I was sitting spinning there in croc territory. They would have warned me, so. And I had my granddaughter sitting safe in a tree not too far from me, so I had a watch to keep an eye out, and I was ready to jump up and run. That would have been quite a video as well. Imagine that. Luckily it wasn't necessary. Well, maybe it's bad luck. It would have been nice to see all of that, but I don't know if I'm agile and mobile enough to have made enough of a good video out of that. So let's let's rather say it's a good idea. It wasn't necessary to do anything there. There was something else I was thinking of adding, but I will probably add that in another video at some other stage. I will put a few pictures in here of last week's project that was packed up and dispatched to its new owner, because most of the things I do on these videos and things, as I say, is for customers. I think most of my customers are also my viewers, so that's why I decided to put my codes on here. So oh yeah, go and dig and see if you can find the promo code. It's as I say, to me, I think it's actually quite a nice challenge. If you found it, you're welcome. You may even go and jot it down in the comments below. There's not so many people that are watching the videos as yet, so it would probably spoil the sports. Or you can give sort of a code and just half the word or whatever, then it will increase the anticipation and make a nice game of it. I rather like the idea. So if you want your Luna at 10% discount, go find your code. While I was sitting spinning, I realized I didn't actually tell you much about the Luna. I'm not going to put the camera on her as such right now, because you'll see enough of her in the rest of the video. That is the newest addition to the Craft range of spinning wheels, and I would say also falling in the entry level. So if you're new to the art of spinning and you do not want to invest in the big fighting machines like the Aura and the Rose or the Suzy Professional, the Luna is something for you. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. Obviously, I've now since spun a lot on the big machines, and I love, it's difficult to say between the Rose and the Aura which one happens to be my favorite, because the one I'm spinning on at that moment happens to be my favorite. But this little wheel was sort of the one in the beginning that I just couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted first, because I really like the looks of her. The first time I saw her, it reminded me of E.T. You know, E.T. Phone Home with his little head up in the sky. Well, you'll see when you see the rest of the videos what I mean. But I only realized when I was sitting there next to the river that there's something else about the little Luna that I didn't think of before. I I don't think it was even planned to be that. But it's like a little ducky sitting there staring at the sun, or maybe the moon, I guess, being the lunar. It is just one of the sweetest wheels. And if you've seen the birthday issue of the when I received that, yeah, that was the Rose, the Aura, and the Luna. You will also notice that little Nadia, my assistant, fell in love with Luna immediately, and it was quite literally a fight to get her away from this little wheel because she is still adamant that it is her wheel. But we've reached an agreement that until she's big enough and she can spin on it herself, I'm allowed to spin on it. But it is actually Nadia's wheel. So, anyway, now you know it.
Piece of spin wheel. Hey, kitty, don't look at that. She down yours. She down yours. No, kitten. I'm gonna spin wheel.
Like to waste my spin eye.
Yup. I'm spinning. Huh? I'm spinning the feather fin. Now let's see. What's that done? Okay. What's this done? What? Ow! Ow! I broke my finger. Look at my finger. Okay. What do you see?
Nadia, wat doen jy?
He's a fan.
Spin jy?
Yep.
Okay. Kan ek my wiel terugkry?
Oh.
Enjoy the video. It is really a sweet little spinning wheel, but by saying little spinning wheel, it is by no means a little spinning wheel, because she is really capable of doing anything you need, spinning wise, spinning, plying, you name it. I will mention though, she's not the lightest of them all. In fact, she is the heaviest of them all. Smallest, well, a little bit bigger, I would say, than the little gem, but the little gem is a portable wheel, and I would say probably half the weight. I haven't actually weighed them yet, but I just know Luna is heavy. Now, luckily, when I did my videos, my granddaughter Abigail was sort of my crocodile watcher, and she did the carrying as well, because I do not fancy the idea of having to carry her around. So if Luna happens to be the one you want to get as your first spinning wheel, or your first Mayacraft wheel, or whatever, go for it. It is a beautiful little wheel, but preferably park her in a spot at home, and let her stay there. Well, if you've got an older son or hubby that can carry them around, obviously that's a different story, because she's quite compact and quite up to sitting out there in the garden when you're having a braai or whatever. But To me, not really portable. But other than that, absolute sweetheart.
Huh?